Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium. And today we have a very special video for you because I have a special guest. I fell in love with her as soon as I met her. She's also an Aquarius. So there you go. Aliens unite. Aliens of the Zodiac unite. And you all know her because you can see her. It's Sarah Fraser from the Sarah Fraser Show. Hello, welcome.
Oh my God, Natalie, it's awesome to be here. I love. I'm with you. I fell in love with you too. Like the minute I got to meet you, and you and Giorgio Says have been on my podcast. So I'm honored and slightly nervous to be here, but mine is that.
Well, being nervous is normal. And let me explain to everyone why Sarah is nervous. She's not so nervous because she's on this channel, okay? But first of all, we did meet because Georgia and I were on Sarah's podcast. So if you haven't heard that episode, or if you're not following Sarah, you should be doing this now. We'll wait. Go ahead. Go on. Come back.
Come back. Yeah.
Come back. And also Sarah was on our podcast. As you guys know, Georgia and I have a podcast called Creating the Creator. New episodes come out every Friday. And that's how we met Sarah. I mean, I've been following her podcast, and I've been following her because she is on David Yontev's podcast as well. But so I follow both of you, Sarah, and here we are. Like, the universe does its magic and brings people together for a reason. Now, the reason why Sarah is nervous, and we're going to do things differently here today. Sarah is one of the very few people who is completely open. She's transparent. She's open about her personal life, about her baby journey, about everything that's going on in her life. And she is very open in getting a reading here in front of all of you guys. I'm going to give her a year ahead reading. We're going to look into 2024 and what's in store for Sarah. And most importantly, I know that what Sarah wants to focus on is mainly her career and her baby journey. So for anyone who doesn't know, Sarah already has a little son. He is adorable. And I love how you just encompass him in sometimes in your own content, that you will show your son. Sometimes you'll have him on. I love that. That's such an Aquarius thing to do. Trust me.
I know. You know, us Aquarians. Yes, I'm extremely open. I love my little son. KJ is 2.5 years old, and I would put him on camera like as much as he wants to be. So right now, until he objects, he has to go on my podcast, on my YouTube. So I put him on a lot of stuff when he's around.
Well, you still have a little bit of time. How old is Andy Cohen's Ben? Because Andy Cohen said that Ben is old enough now not to give his consent to be on social. I don't know.
I think you think has to be 3 or 4. No, I agree with that. I agree. And that's always my mindset with my kids. I'm going to put my kids on like my social media and all that until they tell me, Mom, I don't want to, or I love this and I want to do more of it. And, my mindset is always, I think, everything in moderation. So if they decide they want to be content creators, even better, start them at 5 years old, but we'll do it in moderation.
Well, you've got to be a little bit careful because my son is 9 and I've created a monster because he sees me on YouTube. Like, I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, right? And he sees I've got a podcast and I'm on YouTube and social media and I do this and I do that. And now he thinks he's a gamer and he actually created a YouTube channel without me knowing, but he doesn't show his face. Like, he does these edits, Roblox edits. And I'm like, I really created a monster. How can I tell him not that it's too early for him to have a channel or for him to be exposed to social media in general when I'm on social media? So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, I guess. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I always, I think you just have to teach them the whole things, and you have to be very involved with who's messaging them, what's messaging them. But I do think that the earlier that kids can understand, because to me, social media is a bit of a game, right? People are putting out there, for the most part, a lot of fake versions of themselves, right? We've seen this for years with Instagram people here in LA. I mean, you can rent a quote unquote private jet, that's like in a hangar that never goes anywhere, but you can take pictures as though you're on it and looking like you are going somewhere. And many creators have done that. So I think the sooner that kids can realize so much of it is fake, and people will say things to you. I'm sure they do on your channel. They do on mine that they would never say to your face. And yes, little ones, it's harder for them to process that. But I think the more we can have open conversations with them, like, first of all, if this person if their, icon isn't even them, then what they're saying has very little merit, because if they're not willing to show their face, they would never ever say that to you in real life. And I think if kids can learn to treat social media like, it really, to me, it's just a promotional tool. And unless you keep it private, and then for your friends and family, maybe it's more of like almost like a curated, scrapbook. But if you're out there publicly, the only reason to be on social media to me is to make money and promote yourself. And if kids can learn that and, be safe with it, great. But they need to be told that it's really not real.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to teach him. But he just sees what I'm doing, but it's very different, because he sees the comments, and you know what he does? He goes under my comments and he reads them. And when there is like once in a blue moon, I might have like a negative comment. You always get them. He's like, Mom, you've got trolls and you have haters. What are you going to do about it? You have to do a video addressing that. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. This is not TikTok. This is not how it works. And you're always going to get that. You're always going to have haters, trolls, and people who judge you in real life and in this life, in this YouTube world, let's just say, or social media world.
I'm, maybe this is okay. Maybe this will come up. I do think now I'm addicted to the hate, because I have a theory. I kind of have a theory, if you're not being hated on, you're doing something wrong, because, the whole point of social media, and this is true of the algorithm favors people that evoke emotion and reaction from people. Now, everything I put out, I try to be 100% transparent, because that's true to me. But you see this with people, they put out political views. I don't even believe that a lot of people believe these political views, but they put them out because they know they're going to generate engagement, good or bad, and that's going to be pushing the algorithm up. So I'm very much like, if I have a hot take, I want people to like it or hate it, because then it's like getting traction. It's getting people engaged. They go, oh, I love this woman's take, or I hate her, she should shut up. That's terrific, because without it, if you're just getting positive praise all the time, to me, you have a very siloed audience that you're probably not reaching new people, because they know what they're going to get. And that's the only reason they're interested. So I encourage people, embrace the hate. And I love this. I mean, you're very spiritual, but I think I have to get to the point too, of course, like, right, when people love me, those comments feel great. And it's like, keep them coming. But I try to put that into perspective, because we know famous people, not so famous people always love you to a point, and then you do one thing they don't like, and then they tear you down. That's kind of a little bit the American way. Like, we love to build people up, we love to tear them down, and then we love the redemption story even more. So if you can see life in a bigger picture of that, at least this is my philosophy, I think you just have to be true to you and not get caught up one way or the other in the hate or the love, and just keep putting it out there for your purpose.
Wise words. And I agree with everything you say, because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself, right? This is who you're facing. You're facing yourself, not some random anonymous person who's commented or who hates on you. So be true to yourself. Do what you feel is true to you. Follow your path. Even if you're like, we talked about this on both our podcasts, even if your channel or your podcast is growing in a very, very slow sort of pace, still, if you feel you don't need to go into dramatics and create stuff just to just to get the momentum going, or just to get that, because at the end of the day, you're going to regret it, because that goes against your grain. It goes against your beliefs, your ideologies, and your morals. So I really, truly believe that you should stick to what is true to you, because that's how you're going to be successful. You're going to stay successful. It's not going to be pivoting.
It's all about your own personal integrity, and yes, putting it out there with love and kindness. I always feel like those are the brands that succeed the most. I think about Oprah. That's like one of the things, even Rosie O'Donnell. Obviously, I love talk shows. That's kind of what I grew up with. But, creating the creator, the podcast you do with Giorgio, I know so many podcasters that maybe have 20,000 followers, 10,000 followers on Instagram, and their shows are top podcasts making great money. So a lot of times too, people that you see that have smaller content creating followings, you can still make a great living, do what you want. And it's not about these huge numbers necessarily. They don't always translate to a ton of money. So, it's like you said, it's keeping your personal integrity, and then, the following, all that will come.
It will come and it will follow you and they will stay loyal. You need what is hard out there, you guys, is having a loyal following, like a loyal community. That's a hard part. You can be, as you said, you can be super successful and grow really fast and just have like people. It's like a revolving door of people who follow you. They're in and out, they stay subscribed or they stay following, but they don't really watch your content. But if you have a loyal following, they're going to stick with you. And then when you decide to start experimenting and changing things around with your content, which is normal. Every content creator wants to evolve, wants to change things around, wants to do a switcheroo. Well, look at you as well. We will look in a minute. We'll start reading you. All right, we're going to look at your things, because I have a feeling that there are major things coming, okay, psychically. So, you know me now.
I love it.
You know how I work. So I'm super excited to get to start. But before we start, I want to ask you a little bit about spirituality, like your belief system. So have you had a reading before?
I have. Yes, I've had readings. I would say probably I've never had like a tarot deep reading from somebody on your level. I've gone to more, I would say, psychics who do things like maybe they have you write your name down, or they write, you write something down and then they take like a feeling or something from that. I've had a lot of traditional readings like that. I've gone to, let's see, she was like an Irish, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. She had a different set of cards. I had a reading with her.
Lenormand?
Yes. That was
okay. Yeah. Super.
I've had that. So I've always dabbled in it. I was raised Catholic. And I guess I was raised kind of lenient Catholic. I guess we sort of we picked and choose things. I always say cafeteria Catholic. We kind of pick and choose the things
I love that
we like of the church.
That was me, cafeteria Catholic too.
And over the years, I've tried different religions, but it's funny. I've always come back to Catholicism. And I think it's because to me, I guess I connect so much to it through my ancestors. My grandparents, my great grandparents believed in it so much. They believed in everything. You had to participate in Lent or you were going to hell, confession, So I do it as a way to honor them, really, in a lot of ways. I think I feel very connected to them when I go to mass and I really listen and connect. A huge spirituality overall. You know what I mean? I believe in a higher power. I believe in a more loving God than I think what the Catholic Church preaches. Yeah. I don't believe like if you miss Lent, or if you don't go to confession, that you are going to hell or you're going to purgatory. I think God is much more forgiving of that. But I do believe I think almost all of us, unless you have something really missing upstairs, really do have a conscience. And I think deep down when you've done something, and that comes up for people. So I try to live my life. I like the 10 Commandments. I like some parts of it. And I try to be a good Christian. And I just believe 100%, because so many things in my life have happened like that are just godly, hard to explain. Yeah. I completely believe in a higher power.
So do you believe in reincarnation? Because Catholics don't. Like, I was raised Catholic too.
Do I believe in reincarnation? I guess I'm iffy on that one. I can't say I'm a full believer of that. I don't know. Yeah. No, that one doesn't for me totally. I mean, I believe like the spirits are right on the other side. I believe like my dad passed away when I was in high school. I mean, I feel closer to him than ever, talking to him all the time. Do I think he's I doubt my dad is reincarnated in a dog. Like, I don't know. I don't think he is. First of all, I don't think he would want to be. That one's kind of hard for me.
Oh, yeah, I respect that. I get that. So, because, if you don't have sort of something tangible, how can you believe in something where you don't have tangible proof, let's just say, or that you can't debunk that? Whereas spirit and predictions and fortune telling, it's more tangible because you go to a reader, they give you some information, they give you messages, it gets validated at some point. So that's when you start believing reincarnation. I do understand why it's harder for you to get into that. I can tell you that I didn't believe in reincarnation as well when I was younger because of, how we were raised. Because when you're raised Catholics, my grandparents went to church every Sunday, we went to mass, there was a whole thing as well. They would fast around Easter time. There was a whole thing. My mom, not church going, but very much sort of God loving. I want to say, even though my mom's psychic too. So, and she's seen stuff and she feels stuff. God. So I get the whole like not believing in reincarnation, but I can tell you reincarnation does exist, because this is how our souls, our spirits evolve, right? That's how we evolve. This is how we learn. That's why we chose. Right now, you as Sarah, you've reincarnated into Sarah from someone else in the past. And you chose the life and the path that you have now. Everything that you're going through in this lifetime, good or bad, is pre-planned. Why? Because you're trying to evolve your soul. You're evolving your soul, or you're getting rid of karmic debt, karmic ties, a lot of things, generational karma. It could be a ton of things why you've decided to come back to Earth as a soul to experience the human experience here. So some people, like my grandma, who was like my mom to me, she refuses to come back because I've connected to her a zillion times. I connect to her all the time. And I'm like, are you reincarnated? She's like, I refuse to. I'm done for now. So everyone's different. Depends on what they've been through and what they've learned as well.
Okay,
so
all right.
let's start. Okay, we've warmed up, so we're going to start. So while I'm shuffling, I'm going to bring up my tarot cam. Everyone loves the tarot cam. Look, here's the deck, and I have my crystals here. And Sarah, you can see the cards as well. I hope I have enough space for everything, because this is going to be a big spread, because we're doing the year ahead spread. So while I'm shuffling, you guys, it's just like watching. It's just like anyone watching this video is like you're a fly on the wall and you're watching how I literally do readings. Because this is just, let's pretend no one else is watching. This is exactly the same way that I would read Sarah if we were in a private sort of environment, right? Or setting even.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So while I'm shuffling, I'm going to ask you, relax, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and don't think of anything. Just don't think about what you're having for lunch, what emails you have to send, nothing. So this is for Sarah for the year 2024. Spirit, please give me succinct and clear messages for Sarah. Thank you. All right.
I feel like so relaxed already.
Good. Okay, I'm not sure you can see all the cards. I'm going to move my crystals out of the way for 1 second. That's good that you're relaxed. That's what I want. Okay. All right, and then I'll put this one here.
Okay.
All right, let's start. And then I'm going to ask you about, because you said, and I haven't had the chance to listen to your podcast, but you said you've made a decision regarding what you're doing, regarding things, but we'll talk about it afterwards. I want to see what comes through here. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So let's start with this card here. This card is the Judgment card, and it represents 2023, the year that is almost done now, almost gone. Judgment. It's been a tough year for you. A lot of learnings, a lot of lessons, a lot of ups and downs and hurdles that you had to overcome. And most importantly, it was really tough because you were tough on yourself. A lot of times you were very unforgiving with yourself regarding decisions, I feel it's very much about the speed on how you do things. I feel that's why you might be hard on yourself. Either you feel that you're too impulsive or that you're too apprehensive sometimes, so you can't find that balance. Okay.
Yep. That's accurate.
2023 was very much a year to learn a lot about patience, about waiting for things to happen when the time is right. And also regarding work as well, I want to say is also learning on how to block the noise and block people who are trying to kind of like, I feel like you've had a lot of people giving you a lot of advice or promising things, like promising projects or things that you would do together. A lot of noise and not much happening. So 2023, you have to just leave it behind you, Sarah, as we enter 2024 and really follow your intuition and your heart. All that noise is not serving you.
Okay.
Because what you're doing at the end is you're being hard on yourself. You're taking it on you. You're someone who's not going to show that. I feel that about your energy. You're not someone who's going to easily, let's say, admit that you have regret or you feel unsure about something or about insecure, because you're very good at sort of moving on. You know, you'll just like, okay, issue. All right, I'll move on from that. But emotionally and internally, there's a lot going on that you don't express. It doesn't come out.
Yeah.
And I feel for that reason, a lot of that energy comes back to you and you kind of feel punished by the universe sometimes. Does that make sense? If you have any questions, you can ask me. You can interrupt me. You can ask me.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Obviously, it was a really hard year. We had 2 miscarriages that were like pretty much took up half the year. You know, one was like at 14 weeks. One was at like 8 weeks. So that was a huge, you know, and yes, I have had to in 2023 really surrender to the process of like having another child and all on God's time and really slowing a lot down in my life. And that slowdown only probably took place since September of this year.
Yeah.
Like, committing to a daily meditation practice and just, you know, gratitude practice. So, because before that, yes, my life runs pretty fast. I definitely don't dwell, you know, and, but I do, you know, yeah, I am probably too hard on myself lots of times. I have to kind of remind myself to give myself credit and like, look at how much you've built. I moved to LA almost 2 years ago just to expand my podcast. And I'm always looking ahead. So I don't slow down and go, wow, look at like how much has happened in a year and a half. This is amazing, amazing. And so much of everything I've put out there to God and the universe is coming true. It just always takes longer than I want it to. So
but that's the thing. You have to slow down and smell the flowers sometimes. You have to remind yourself, smell the flowers so you can appreciate what's happening. And yes, it's I feel it. I feel the energy around you. It feels like a whirlwind, you know, where it's going round and round. And as it like comes closer to its core, it's getting stronger and stronger. That's what 2024 feels like to me for you. Right. And here we have, and here's this, look, career. Let's start with career. I have the Magician. The Magician for 2024 means you're manifesting and you're creating, and your dreams and things that something that you started 2 to 3 years ago. So pre-pandemic or just before the pandemic hit, is coming to fruition. It's finally, it feels like it's been blocked energetically, but now I feel it's going to happen. It's the energy around it is unblocking and it's going to manifest. And not just that, but everything. With this Magician, I love this card when it comes up. It's literally, you're the magician and you're creating the world or the career, whatever it is that we're talking about and we're looking into, you're creating that, you're manifesting that. So career-wise, it's going to be a good year, very good year.
I love it. Okay. Yes. Yep.
And look, Ace of Cups for finances means new opportunities. You're going to make more money this year, okay? So these opportunities and some of these projects that are you're going to be picking up this year are also bringing in more abundance. This is abundance. This is feeling abundant, new opportunity, new sources, streams of income, all right? But really good to the point where I feel you will be able, or towards the second half of the year, I feel you're going to start investing as well, some of your money too, which is a wise decision and a wise
Great.
move.
Maybe that means I'm buying a house that I've been manifesting, which I
There you
think is a
go.
big investment, especially in Los Angeles. So, yes. Okay. I've been putting that out there. I'm like, I want, a house in LA. I want a little backyard.
There you go.
It's a big investment. So, okay, that's good.
There you go. A lot happening, and I see you working as well with so one of these projects, I feel like either you're going to be like a team lead of a team, like executive producer or head or creative director, you know where I'm going, or director. I feel that you're going to work on a project where you're going to be in a team, or you're going to bring a team together and you're going to be leading it as well. That's where that money is coming from. That's where the abundance is coming from. Hope that resonates. I hope that
it does. Well, it's interesting. It resonates in a couple of ways. One of the things that keeps coming up for me this year is like, okay, so I've always wanted to be a talk show host, right? This is my Sarah Fraser show. I've always wanted to create this talk show that's like Howard Stern meets Oprah, that's like I'm having crazy nudists on one day, and then the next day we're talking about, I don't know, having some economist on, like just this. I really want to create a show where people tune in and they're like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on? Is this bitch crazy, or am I interested in this? So, but I think I've always looked for it. Like I've pitched it a lot to networks, and, I'm in the entertainment business. So are you, our business, you can oftentimes get a lot of no's before you get a yes. So it's, I keep coming back to just build it, Sarah, like build it and they will come. Like that's
coming.
So I feel like it is time to assemble a team and really bring this show to life. And I keep going, Sarah, you don't need an expensive set. You don't do it just as I'm doing from my house. Start it. And it has started, right? Because, you've been on my show. My show has been around for a while and it's beginning to like take a different shape. So I think that's what you mean. I do have this other, kind of reality show project that I came out here and pitched that I love. So far, no one's bought it. I pitched it all of 2022 and into 2023. So we'll see. I always think it's a great idea. I love the people in it. And I feel like at some point someone's going to take risk on it. But that's another one I've always and part of me goes, build your show, make money, and then you fund that show. Like you do the show, you produce it, and you take the money from it. Build these projects on your own. It's kind of like
that's probably what I'm seeing here when I said that you're going to invest your money. Because when I look at like between April and June, okay, this is the card between April and June. I see you working. So I see you working with two other people. This is the Three of Pentacles. This is teamwork. This is making money. But I actually have like, what I'm receiving, I feel it is connected to this reality show you're talking about. I feel that things are going to start moving to the right direction around April, June, between April and June, around that time. Okay. And then I have that. So I'm picking up that I feel that the team lead and this working in a team is related to the reality show that's going to be picked up.
Okay. I love it because I love this show concept. I think it's everything. I love like following, I don't know, people that are eccentric and have money and sex and like all these things. It has all that.
I love stuff like that. Oh my God. I hope it happens. No, not I hope. I know it's going to happen because I see it. So I see that it's not dead. Okay. That concept, the idea, the whole thing is not dead. And you're going to be manifesting. As I told you, things are going to start rolling much easier this year for you. You're not going to find as many roadblocks as you did the previous years, the last 3 years. Really quickly, I want to say you are moving again. Just saying.
Ooh, okay. Tell me, what do you mean? Okay, this is like, all right, this is something.
Well, I skipped this one, but I wanted to tell you about this one. So it's either you're going to buy your house, but I'll be honest, I don't feel that you're going to buy your house this year.
Okay.
I'll be honest that, but I do see you moving, and I feel it's going to be somewhere to be closer to family or friends. It could be in California, could be in LA, or California in general. So it could be, but I do see moving.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that could be on our radar? Well, first of all, yes, we want to buy a house. There's also some talk. My niece, who is 17, graduating from high school next year, is moving out with us, and we live in a 2-bedroom apartment. So we're like, we have to move into this other apartment with her if she's going to live with us, which would be amazing because I've been manifesting. I really want her to come out here. I think it's just such a great opportunity for her, and she lives on the East Coast, and she sort of needs a reset. So, I hope
that's it.
No.
That's it. Because I told you it's because of friends or family. So that's going to be the incentive of the move. So there you go. It's happening.
Oh my God. Yes. Good. I'm glad for that one.
So listen here. Let's go to love. This is love. Okay. This is the card. This is the position, the placement for the love card. And it's a 3 of Cups. So this here is where you're getting your baby. Because 3 of Cups, it's you, your hubby, and your new baby. Yeah, KJ is not in the picture right here because we
I'm not worried. KJ is my little like sports star. All he wants to do is be playing some sort of sport. So KJ is probably off playing sports while mommy and daddy are having this other baby. So I know KJ's all good.
Baby making. Yeah. So I do see the bubby. The bubby.
Maybe it's a bubby. My husband had a bubby, so maybe she's coming through. So
maybe she's coming through because I told you you're having a girl, right? So remember I told you that.
I know it. I just want a healthy baby. I'm putting that out there to God and the universe. But I always say, if God is taking orders, I want a healthy daughter.
So here's the catch, little catch with this. Okay. What I'm getting, what's coming through, it might be that you might have to be bedridden or stay in bed for several months because I feel there might be some kind of issue with the placenta.
Oh, terrific. Okay, go on. Great.
Well, okay, listen, it's only for a few months. You're getting a healthy baby. You're getting a healthy baby girl, but you might have to go through that.
Okay, no problem. All right, I'll stay in bed.
What is it when the placenta doesn't stick and that can create this is what I'm picking up, okay, psychically. That it might be
previa. Yeah, isn't it previa? It's yes, you have to be very very careful. You have to really take it easy, lay on bed rest, because I think it's like if you don't, the placenta can detach or something. So you have to stay quite calm.
That's what I'm picking up. So that's why you might have to spend several months, let's say, in bed or resting at least, or at home resting. That's fine because you're going to get your baby. But okay. But here's the thing. I'll tell you what. I don't feel the baby's going to be born in 2024. It will be conceived in 2024, but not born in 2024. Okay. So we've got to do the math here. But yeah. So this is what I'm getting. It will be conceived this year, 2024. Okay. But not born in 2020. So it could be that you might be conceived around summertime or after summer. This is around that's around the time that I feel that's going to happen. So great news. I also see your husband being very, very hands-on, I feel that this is going to bring you together even more, even closer, the whole journey that you're going through. I mean, it can be very stressful for a couple. It can create a lot of tensions. Trying to conceive and going through all that and going through miscarriages can create issues in a couple. But I feel that everything that you guys are going through, it's bringing you closer and bringing you together. And I love that. Because that's not always the case, as you know.
No, it's true. And I'm very lucky. So far, my husband has we've been united in this whole thing, in grieving together and making next decisions together because we are older. I'm 41. I'll be 42 in February. So, this baby game over 40 is a whole nother game. So, that's great to hear because to your point, yes, I know a lot of couples that it brings them apart. And I know a lot of couples that are not on the same page about deciding upon IVF or an egg donor, and if one person isn't there, it can make it very difficult. And we are really united in our path to creating a family. So that's good to know that the process, it sounds like you're seeing is going to continue to be, we're going to work together and be in love about it. Even more so. Because especially if you have to stay in bed and you have to rest during that pregnancy, I feel that he's going to be on top of it. He's going to be there helping you, being just
being there for you. And I love that. And I really feel that he's someone that, yeah, career, money is important, but he puts family first in front of that. That's what I pick up about him. And I love that. I love his energy, Sarah. I really love his energy. I feel like he's a very gentle soul. Yeah, sure, he's got his quirks and his issues. Show me a guy that doesn't, or a woman. But he's got a gentle soul. Like, he's very sensitive. He's very loving. He's not good at showing it, but I feel that he's deep inside. He's very, very sensitive and loving and emotional and empathic as well. He just puts a wall up.
You nailed it. Oh my God, you nailed it. Yes. And it took me a long time in our relationship to realize that. And then I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how he didn't leave me, but I'm so grateful because I'm like, he's such a gem, but it took a while. It took a while to find that. Yes. Because everything you're saying is true about him, but and now he's much more emotional than we've been together a decade. But when the first 5 years were rough because he really was robotic, like never showed it. But once we got through those layers, like now, to your point, there's so much. Yes, he really loves and adores me, but he's not a big romantic.
No,
you know that. Yeah. Right. You wouldn't know that. Right.
Wait till he has his daughter. That's what he's going to change. Trust me. It's different because I have one of each, right? And my husband's a little bit like yours. He's like he's very sensitive. He's got a good soul, a good heart, etc. But like, he's a little bit like distant and cold sometimes. He's an Aquarius, so there you go. Aquarius men.
Yeah. And Aquarian men. Yeah. I bet. Wow. That's a lot to wrangle. Yes.
A lot. But anyway, he's a good guy. I love him. But as soon as we had our daughter, who was our firstborn, and we had issues conceiving as well. It took us 2.5 years. And just when we were about to start IVF, I got pregnant because I was like, okay, whatever, we're having IVF. I don't care. Let's have fun while we're, let's be freaks in the sheets and let's have fun and let's not make this like a thing, like, like an errand, baby time errand. So, and I saw how much he changed and how different he is with my daughter as opposed to my son. Like with my son, it's like boys, he's tough. He gives them tough love. But with my daughter, it's very like all of these, like his sensitive side comes out. Like the emotional sensitive side. And I feel it's the same with your husband. As soon as you get your daughter, you're going to see all of that like coming out. He'll be more expressive, more, empathic, etc. So
that would be amazing because he's very skeptical. I love dabbling in all astrology and spirituality. He's very not.
Neither is mine.
So yeah, so it'd be great to see a more empathetic, an empath side and a little bit more, emotion. So that'd be great.
Oh, you'll see it. Is coming. So let's have a quick look now.
You'll see it.
We'll go for, this is the first trimester, okay, of your pregnancy, but of the year. So January to March, okay. So the only thing that worries me a little bit is I do feel, and don't forget, Sarah, that we do have Pluto moving into Aquarius on my birthday, unfortunately, on the 21st of January. So we're both Aquarians, and lo and behold, it's going to be a little bit bumpy for us, okay, Aquarians. It's the first time in several hundred years where Pluto enters Aquarius.
Okay.
You love astrology. So even astrologers don't know what to expect, but they definitely know that this is going to be the next 40 years. They're going to be extremely transformative for Aquarians or anyone who has Aquarius in their main planets, okay, or in their chart. And so January to March, I do have the 7 of Cups, which is sort of like a warning card or a warning sign saying like, beware. I do feel there might be some kind of like betrayal or betrayal. No, betrayal is a harsh word. I want to say finding out that maybe someone doesn't have your back. Someone who pretends that they have your back or that they're your friend or, they support you and encourage you in what you're doing, but they don't. I feel someone who might be a little bit jealous, envious, or antagonistic.
Yep.
Towards you. You will have to deal with that coming up. So that's going to be, it doesn't have to be someone close. It could be someone that you've known for a long time or you used to work with, or someone that you collab with once in a while. Just saying, just throwing out ideas out there or examples out there. But I do see that and dealing with that. And that's going to make you sort of question a lot of like the relationships and friendships that you do have. I feel it's more so connected to work and career. So not so much in your personal private life.
Okay. Yep.
So this is coming up just so you are aware that you're gonna find out stuff. Like you're gonna find out stuff or you're not gonna be happy about.
Okay.
All right. I mean, don't you touch Sarah. You're gonna have to deal with me too. Hey, you know what?
I'm sending them your way. Great. Okay, great.
I can be with you.
That one's tough to really think about because I do have a lot of, I would say, acquaintances in our business, right? They're not really close friends, but they're people I do business with, or to your point, collaborate with, whether, on the podcast, off the podcast, just people like I even behind the scenes bounce ideas off, or I've worked, I've had a lot of great people that have worked for me. They've gone on to do other entertainment things, but they still, we still sort of trade ideas. So it's interesting. Okay. That's on my radar. I guess it's sort of hard to.
It's hard, but it will make sense. Like you're going to have that light bulb moment when it happens. You'll be like, that's what Natalie meant, or that's what she saw. To give you a little bit of a tip, because what you were talking, I was picking up more stuff. I do feel it is connected maybe to someone who you shared an idea of a project. It could be a reality show or a past idea of a show, and they kind of steal that idea.
Oh.
And they go about behind your back.
Who this could potentially be now. Okay.
Oopsie. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's going to come out. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's
going to come out January.
I kind of know who the person might be. Yeah.
Just be aware what you say. Just be mindful of what you say, to whom you say it, and just keep your eyes open.
Okay.
Because, and you live in LA, and we're in the entertainment industry, and you've been in it for so long. You know how people are, right?
I think that's one of my things that I always try to work on, but I am a very open person. So I do say a lot, and then I often leave and I'm like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said, like, why are you saying that? Or why, or even just like sharing notes, like in an email of a project. I'm like, you shouldn't have emailed, because I am a very like open person. So that, okay.
And that's why I fell in love with you, because you're so open. You're one of the very few people who's been doing this for such a long time. You've been on radio, you've been in the entertainment industry for such a long time. You're so seasoned in this, but you're still very, very open, because a lot of people get guarded because, it's a tough industry, and it's an
industry where people feel, and the reason I'm like this is I worked for someone. I was on a very popular morning show in DC for years called The Kane Show. And it's like, if people want to go back, it's famously documented, but my co-host Kane was very ill. He had a lot of mental health issues, but when I worked with him for 7 years, he was that person that like would not share any ideas, would never collaborate, didn't want us to have other friends in the radio business. And I was just like, God, this is fucking crazy. I would go see my friends that worked for TV stations, and they were friends with people from the other station, or they'd go work at another station. I'm like, wow. I was always told like, you can, don't do that. You should never do that. Don't share anything. And I just realized, I've been gone from that show a decade, and sadly he passed away a couple of years ago. And I realized like, God, if he hadn't have been so paranoid, like we would have had incredible success. And like, sure, other shows would have come and gone, but they never would have had the level that we had. But he could not, he couldn't see the forest through the trees, and I just always felt like there's a balance of what I do, and you're now in it. It's very hard to have a successful podcast that lasts for years. So I'm always happy to tell people like, this is what I did to start. It is much harder than you think, but you should try it. Like, I wish you the best of luck. And if you do make it, have me on your show. Like, I would love, I want that. Because I do find that people come back to me all the time and they're like, thank you, you inspired me. And to me, that's what it means, versus I worked with people that would never help. They wouldn't even help. Like Kane wouldn't even help us, and we worked with him to help him make money. So I hate that environment. Nobody ends up leaving liking anybody. So, but there's a balance. I do share a lot. So that can bite you sometimes.
It can bite you, but people do appreciate that. People are open. You know what? You attract your tribe. You attract your tribe. It's what kind of energy. So your community, your followers, people who follow you and have been following you for such a long time, you might be oversharing sometimes, and that might be detrimental to you. But people see that, your followers, they respect that, and they forgive you for that. Much easier. They forgive you, me, because I'm really open too. Much easier than they would someone else who's just putting on a facade and they're acting like all like, great and God's gift and whatever. So to me, it always pays off to be yourself and being transparent and open.
I agree.
Okay, and then we talked about April and June, where I said about the project, about the reality show that I feel it's going to sort of kickstart, or things are going to start finally moving and falling into place, and then you can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, where you're like, okay, I know where we're going with this. Let's go. I have a plan, I have timeline, I have investors, or I got signed up.
Yep.
Someone would buy it and I'm off, This is what I see working, very much working, talking to people. I see lawyers as well, so signing contracts and things like that. So it's going to be very busy between April and June. So end of spring, beginning of summertime. Here's the thing. I want to tell you two things, and we'll go back to the baby stuff. First of all, I really do feel that, not set in stone, we have free will, things can change, timelines can change, but I do feel like you're going to fall pregnant in summertime. So between July, August, September, around that time.
Okay.
I really do, with this Queen of Cups, because I see you and I feel you emotional. I see that your habits are changing. So if you like alcohol, for instance, I see that, stopping alcohol, changing your diet, sleeping patterns, etc. So to me, that's either you're going to start I feel it's hormonal. So I do feel that that's the time where you're going to fall pregnant.
Okay.
But I want to say something else. I want to preface by saying something else. I did get, you can see this card here. It's the 10 of Swords. So this is like the overview of the year ahead.
Okay.
I have to say, I do feel there might be another disappointment before you get pregnant with your little girl. I do see there is going to be another disappointment, heartbreak regarding conception.
Great.
Getting pregnant. I'm sorry.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Well. Great.
But the positive is I do see it happening, but when this happens, and I'll be here whenever you need me, just DM me, whatever. Right. If you want to ask me anything, I can tell you psychically what I'm picking up.
Well, I'm going to ask you right now, because, I've decided I want to move to an egg donor. So
you do? Okay.
Yeah. So what do you see happening? Do you see the egg donor not working out, the donor that we choose? Or do you see the idea is, I think, now I'm in the researching phase, so this may change, but I believe we're going to do a fresh egg donor, because that's usually someone that's younger. You get a lot more eggs, so you get a lot more chances, right? And then they have to implant that egg into me. So you don't know. It does usually have a 70% stick rate. And then if it doesn't work the first time, by the time you get to the second, because they're learning things about your body, or you might have to undergo other health tests. Usually by the second round, you have an 80, it's anywhere from 75 to 85% stick rate. And then it's usually 70, 75% chance live birth. So, your first, so I guess my question is, where do you see maybe the heartbreak or disappointment being? In the donor?
Rejection. Yeah, I feel your body's going to reject it first time around. So I feel this is rejection to me. Okay. I heard it loud and clear. So could be that your body rejects it the first time around. Okay. But that doesn't mean anything, because afterwards it will stick. And that's why you'll probably have to take, to rest and maybe stay in bed or at home for several months because of this rejection or this disappointment, heartbreak. Okay. I feel this is a rejection, actually. Okay. 10, and I'm getting 10 or 9 or 10 eggs. How many eggs are
Right.
you?
That's what
Are they harvesting? How many are they harvesting?
Well, it just depends on the donor, right? So the donor is usually like 22 years old, right? And she undergoes IVF. And so IVF shots essentially just help grow more eggs. So if you
Right.
normally have 14 eggs, lots of times it'll grow 24 eggs, right? So they take those out. And then usually once they begin genetic testing, right? Because they're not going to do all this and then put a genetically issued
True.
egg in, right? Because then that's even more heartbreak. So usually half of them immediately are like no good, have genetic issues, or too small, whatever. So let's say you get to 12. Then of those 12, they're going to test, they'll probably fertilize like 4, to make sure that it works with Dan's sperm. So, and then like of those, let's say 2 survive, you'll have extras, right? But they'll probably have 2 good ones, and then they'll go, okay, what do you want to implant? You know what I'm saying? So they'll have 4 really good ones. Like my goal is to get 4 or 5 really great eggs, because then I know, to your point, I have multiple chances, right? And then even if I decide in like when I'm 45, if I want to have a 3rd child, I have those eggs there. So that's like get 5.
I get 9 or 10 eggs. So that's more than enough, I think, right? So I get 9 or 10 eggs. So I had to take off the tarot cam because, as expected, my computer is just like going a little bit overheating and doing whatever. So, okay, I hope it doesn't crash, but we're good. I just stopped it. So, yeah, I do see that, but at least you know now, right? So I don't want you taking it.
No, it's fine. I've totally surrendered. Look. All I know is this. I know, and I see myself clearly in a hospital bed, wearing a robe, holding my daughter, like that I've just given birth. So I don't know when that image is, but I just keep going. I have to move forward with this process every single day, and she will arrive like and healthy, and it will all be worth it. But I can't control the timeline. So I just have to keep going.
She will. Exactly. Keep going. Stay positive. You're manifesting this year. 2024 is your year. We know you're getting pregnant. So, stick on the course, stick to the plan, and everything will turn out great. Now, the biggest obstacle you're going to face next year, I feel it's 2 things I'm picking up. One thing is, I'm picking up something around your mom's health. Nothing to worry about.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's not that it's going to be life-threatening, but it is going to be uncomfortable for her and could be a little bit scary for her, this health issue that I feel. I do feel there is going to be a little bit about you going back and forth for as long as you can, visiting your mom, and your energy and your attention and your focus being around your mom. So I see that. I see movement back and forth because of mom.
Okay.
All right. But the second thing is I do see something regarding something from your past. This is going to be one of the biggest obstacles, let's just say, and the biggest lessons this year is I see something from the past resurfacing, something that you have to deal with. It will resurface, and something that you will have to deal with again, which wasn't pleasant, which was hurtful.
Okay.
And I'm asking, when I'm pausing, it means I'm connecting to my guides and trying to get some more information around that if they want to give me the information. So, and I'm asking them, is it related to work or is it related to family and friends, something personal? They're saying both. So it could be a combination of both. Someone that you used to work with or someone that you used to collaborate with, let's just say that you grew very close to and became friends. Maybe there was a falling out. Maybe there was something happened, but I do see that resurfacing in 2024, which is going to sort of it's going to trigger you, and it's going to bring up some emotions and feelings and thoughts, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pleasant. This is what I'm getting. And the back and forth because of your mom's health.
Got it.
Because that's going to be exhausting. Going to be exhausting. And we also, as we said earlier, you're moving as well. So there's just so much going on this year for you.
Okay.
Okay, and this is the card on how to overcome or how to overtake this obstacle or this issue that we see. Nine of Pentacles, I'm telling you, this year is the year also that you're going to be making money, or you're going to be signing contracts that are opening up the opportunity for you to make more money in the future.
Okay.
And I do feel that this is connected also to finances.
Mm.
Did you work with someone in the past? Is there any chance that you started a project or you collaborate with someone and there must have been some kind of like misunderstanding around finances? Or maybe someone may feel that you owe them something or you owe them money. I feel it's around that too.
Well, I'm in a work situation currently with someone that might be that's kind of doing some work stuff on my podcast. And it's funny, this has come up for me this week because they're sort of doing it now like as a exploratory, like to kind of like assessing my stuff and seeing where it could grow. And if it could grow to like a higher money value, they want to be a part of it, is their proposal. Yeah. So I actually was like, one of the things I need to do over this holiday break is to be very clear with this person that I want to pay them now. And I don't want to be in a situation where they're like sending me a bill, you know, because like, oh, I did X amount of consulting work for you. And like, this is what I feel like you owe me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be so it's funny that comes up. I'm actually more dealing with that, I feel like now, or I want to address it now and put it in an email in writing. So the person is very clear that like, hey, if you're going to be doing this consulting work for me into 2024, I want to start paying you. And then we can always reassess, like if you feel like there's growth, whether it's developing a show around me or a website or whatever, then we can talk about like you having part ownership of that or getting a bigger piece of that, but I don't want to be on the hook to owe you. So that's actually currently happening around the podcast.
That's happening around the podcast, but I feel this is connected to your past. Okay. So I feel this is separate. What you just said, that's separate to what I'm seeing.
Oh, that's another money issue. Okay. I don't, the only
no, it's not a money issue. It's something that you can solve with money.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
And I'm not getting any more information. I'm asking.
Wait,
so I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, spirits, not giving me some other direction here. Like, is this, because God, I'm trying to rack my brain. Like what?
Someone from the media. I have Knight of Swords. Someone from the media, maybe someone from the radio show. Because they're gonna come out, like I feel this is going to happen. It's all out of the blue. Like suddenly this thing from the past just comes up again, resurfaces. There's a little bit of issue there.
All right. I can see that. I feel like there's some radio things still a brewing. So not that I'm directly involved with, but wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean it comes up, so it's definitely
I could see that.
Let's see.
So just to have it.
Queen of Wands. I'm trying to see. I just pulled the Queen. I'm going to show you the card since I don't have the tarot cam up. This is the Queen of Wands. And I'm trying to see if she's related to what we're just talking about or if this is... What's your mom's sign?
Oh, she's an Aquarius too. I was born on February 13th. She's February 12th.
Oh, but there is this woman now. Let's go back to that. Forget about Aquarians. It's a fire sign woman. I feel this is who we're talking about. She's the one. So fire sign, do you know the fire sign? So fire sign is Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo.
I don't know her sign, but I do know somebody from the radio that my radio past that sort of has something brewing. We are friendly.
Yeah.
Now. I mean, I don't know what it could be, but I'm thinking like she sort of comes to mind as somebody from the past that might have something like coming out, but I don't know how it would relate to me having to solve it with money. I guess.
You don't need to figure it out now. Never during readings, everyone is trying to figure out the stuff that comes through. You never know. That's why I always say take notes. I mean, we've got this video here. So this is your, these are your notes. So you can always look back on the video, what came through in the reading, and it will resonate a lot more when things start unfolding and things happening. We can't make sense of it now. We can't make sense of it. It could be 3, 5, 10 different people that we're talking about from your radio days. It could be from something else. We'll see. This is like a sort of like a general reading for 2024.
Okay. I tend to think something there, but we'll see.
We'll see. I'm pulling an oracle card, an angel card for just to close this reading. What's the message from angels? What's the message from spirit for you for this upcoming new year? Let's see what comes through. Ooh, okay. Oh, that one. Eagle, see from a higher perspective.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it says eagle. Also, to me, the eagle represents like that your career, your personal life is taking on new heights, that you're literally now flying high, seeing things from a different lens, seeing things from a different perspective, and actually feeling that you have the freedom, that you finally have the freedom, or that the universe is blessing you with luck, abundance, law of attraction, everything, where you have the freedom to start creating all of the things that you want to create, whether it's your family, expanding your family, your career, everything, investments, everything. This is what this card means to me when I pull this card in readings. This is, it's the eagle. To me, it's also being very, very, I feel you're going to be a lot more cutthroat as well this year. You're going to be someone who's not
good. It's about time. I'm very much not. So I would love to be cutthroat for a year.
I feel you're going to be setting boundaries, being more cutthroat, being more honest. Oh, you're honest, but I mean more honest, like more blunt, not honest, more blunt with your opinions. This is what I see, because there's no time or room or space for bullshit or for you to waste any more time or energy. I feel this is where you're going to be go, 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 go. And it is going to be packed year for you. Packed.
God, I'm like trying to slow down. Now you're telling me I'm speaking.
Slow down now. Take a break now. Get some rest now over the holidays.
Rest up, girl. Okay.
Rest up and drink up.
Rest up and drink up. I agree with that. I'm definitely doing that because I'm like, I know I'm not going to be drinking all of 2024. So yes.
And sushi, honey. Eat as much as sushi as you can. If you like sushi, I love sushi. That's one thing that I missed during my pregnancies. It wasn't the wine, it was the alcohol, it was the sushi.
Yeah,
it's sushi.
Me too. What a beautiful reading. Okay, great. I love this. Oh, and it's funny. I had people tell me, try a round of IVF, do an egg donor, and I've gone back and forth. But it's interesting. I just have this like gut feeling that the egg donor is the way to go. I don't know. It just keeps coming through for me. Because I could keep trying on my own, but I don't know how I feel about that, because I just, I didn't have. I had this like crazy chromosomal abnormality in my 30s before I had my son and had a miscarriage. Then I had my son. Then now I've had 2 more miscarriages. So it just keeps coming through for me like that's the way to go. I don't know. I guess I'm never like fully clear about that. But so I guess if there's anything else around that.
Oh, I'm getting 5. So I'm getting 5. So it's either you're going to go. I'm being loud and clear, babe. No, I'm taking KJ out of it. It's 5 babies. 5 babies on the other side. Okay. So you've had 3 so far. We know that you probably have another one because we saw it before.
Yeah.
And you might have had another. I'm seeing one either in the future. Or you might have had one in the past and you weren't aware of it, like a chemical pregnancy.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. That could have happened for sure.
Where you're pregnant for a few days, it's a chemical pregnancy, and then it doesn't stick. And then I've had that done. That's happened to me. But I'm just telling you, I'm seeing 5. So I'm seeing 5 spirit babies.
Okay. Okay. How do we reverse that? how do we change that outcome?
As I said, it's all about you being positive. Feel connected to your body. You have to feel connected with your body all the time, especially now as you're entering this new journey with egg donors, and that's a whole thing. It's not easy on you psychologically, and it's not easy on your body either, right? So I would say stay connected to your body, stay in tune, listen to your intuition, listen to your body, and anything that happens at the end of the day is happening for a reason. Some of these babies that you lost, like me, they weren't meant to have a physical form. They weren't meant to be born. They're meant to be our babies in the spiritual form, in the spirit form, but not in the physical form. So, and that's for a reason. And they also act as protectors as well, in a way when we lose a baby or we lose a child.
Yeah.
Even what for some parents, right? So right now, I wouldn't honestly, like, as a friend, I would say don't focus on the negative, don't focus on the bad stuff and what has happened. Focus now that you've made a decision with your husband. This is the way you want to go. Stay positive. You're having your baby. Trust me, I promise you, you're having your girl.
Yes.
So just focus on that. Along the way, yes, there might be bumps, there might be disappointments and heartbreaks, but it's not the end. Okay? It's just a little detour that you have to take. That's it.
Look at it that way.
Detours. Yeah. But it's happening. It's happening, girl.
I know it's happening. And I do know, I see like all my career things happening because so much has happened to me in a year and a half from moving here. From when I lived in DC, things were just, the doors had all closed for me in DC. And I kept LA just kept calling. So I know everything that I want is going to happen. And whether I moved, to get it, I needed to be here to have that. So I know I have to just listen to my gut. I think that's like, come back to my intuition, listen to that. I loved the warnings about colleagues and things like that, because I do think as your career grows, you attract new people, other people with different interests. So I think that's a really good thing to just be on the warning about. And the radio always seems to come up. So the radio.
By the way, do you know that I just want to tell you this as well, that you will end up in New York, living in New York at some point in your life, just so you know. And New York actually is energetically is the place for you.
Really?
Trust me.
Stop. I love the energy. Really? Maybe it's the sunshine, but I'm like, I love LA. Really? Okay.
You will end up in New York at some point. So whether it's the New York, the greater area of New York, could be New Jersey, but that area, to me, energetically, is just, you'll end up in, trust me. I see you suddenly going big. Like you're going to have like a
I know. I'm going to get hired by some like TV network for sure. They're going to pick up the talk show. And it's probably be like, okay, it's going to be in Times Square. I'm going to be like,
it's going to be Times Square. Yeah. Cause I see you in New York and I see that's where your career, like the biggest bulk your career, that's where it's all going to,
there. Wow.
Yeah, it happens.
It's either New York or LA, so I wouldn't be shocked. But I do love the sunshine here. I love the energy here. It's kind of crazy.
No, I get it.
No, I think that's really good. I don't really have any, the questions are about the baby, and I'm just trying to, like, to your point, let it go, be in touch with my body, and it's hard. It is hard. Like, I do toy with, do I try one more time naturally? I know for sure I'm not going to do IVF because you have to, over 40, you have to do so many rounds for it to work. Know. And I'm only going to do one because I'm paying out of pocket. So to me, I believe so much in spirituality, but the statistics are like you have a 10 to 15% shot. And I'm like, I don't want to bet against myself for 70%, or 75% chance that it's not going to work.
Go with your intuition, because I really feel that this applies for everything in life. Like when we overly think, overly obsess on something, that's when we block it, because that's the energy. You put that energy into one thing and it can destroy that one thing because you're not dispersing that energy. Hope that makes sense.
I agree. I got you. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yes.
So it's happening. So we're going to be celebrating. We're going to be celebrating.
I know it, girl. This is amazing, Natalie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming and thank you for doing this. Not a lot of people would be open to have a proper reading.
Oh, okay. Well, you can keep it all. Publish away. That was great.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that you're so open. This was so good. And also before we go, just remind people where they can find you. Everything will be linked down below, but you might as well tell them as well.
The Sarah Fraser Show podcast is out everywhere you get your podcasts. I put podcasts out daily, so you can find it there. And then on social media at the Sarah Fraser Show. I love TikTok. I'm on YouTube. So Instagram, find me.
She's everywhere, guys.
Everywhere.
If you if you don't know who she is, you're probably living under a rock, just saying, So come out of your rock and go follow Sarah.
Love it. Thank you for that endorsement. Thank you, Natalie. Amazing, amazing. Gorgeous, gorgeous.
Sarah, thank you so much. See you soon.
Girl. You got it. See ya.